but we're not seeing a revenue uplift yet, right? Investors expected that these new features would drive a lot more financials in the new year, and we're just not seeing that yet, and they are not keen to wait at this point.
I mean, was that reasonable for investors to think that the revenues would be coming in at this point? Because I feel like they've just developed these new products, like, give them a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think management's been pretty consistent in saying right now we're pricing for adoption. We're trying to just get more users. But I just think it's not quick enough for investors, especially when there's this sense that many other AI startups out there are not moving so conservatively, right? They're going to create tools like you all saw OpenAI's new Sora, which allows you to generate video, right? Something like that gave investors a lot of anxiety because they said, whoa, are people even going to need to pay for Adobe's tools if this becomes mainstream?
Right.
So that's where a lot of this anxiety is stemming from.
So also, don't they need people like me who's not use it for free and come in and pay for stuff? How are they going to, like, aside from the AI conversation, how are they going to make me, who wouldn't know Adobe if it hit me in the face, come in and start to pay for some things?
Yeah, so I mean, their primary user base is the kind of creators, graphic designers,
The fancy
movie
people.
studios, right? They are increasingly trying to break into people like you and me who might need to every so often, like, edit the margins on a photo or recolor something. And so they've invested.
Help Kate Middleton. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Right, exactly. If they had a more unscrupulous marketing department, I'm sure they would have leaned into the whole Kate Middleton.
Oh my God, yeah. Don't do what she did. Use our services.
Yeah,
Good
if
call.
she had Adobe Firefly, that never would have happened.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so yes, I mean, they have invested more in trying to get average users using their stuff. That was a big cornerstone. I don't know if you all remember, they tried to buy this company Figma for $20 billion. That was part of that planned acquisition that, hey, this company has been good at putting these complicated tools on the web, making it simple, making it so that average people can use them. We've had trouble with that. Let's just buy them.
That's an interesting idea. But I guess I want to get your take on the bigger picture here. So in the long term, AI, do we really need Adobe software? I mean, is this the tale of a buggy whip manufacturer grasping at the last straw when the whole technology has moved on?
Yeah, and there was this rare candid moment on an earnings call last night where they kind of had this argument a little bit, right? Some of these Wall Street analysts said, we understand that in the near term, people will need Adobe's tools to edit the video, edit the photo. In the long term, are you going to get displaced entirely? Management pretty much said that you will always need something to, you're not going to generate a whole video just with a prompt and publish out there. I think the quote the CEO used was, the next Oppenheimer is not going to be created with a prompt. But it's an open question, right? As the decades go on, the current format of Adobe's tools, which is, these kind of heavyweight applications on the desktop, think about like Photoshop, video editing, picture editing. Will these formats really still exist once you can generate so much more media with a prompt?
But, I have two schools of thought on that. Like, one, people who want to do that, they want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, they're creative people that enjoy it. They don't want to just put in the word flower and, like, get a picture, right? However, do they have tools where you can put in the word flower and create a picture? Like, are they working towards that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
no, that is...
they're in it. Like, they're in it.
Yeah. I mean, Adobe has pretty much spent the entire last year working quickly because other AI startups did this first to make these kind of tools where you can type in, like 4 journalists sitting around a radio booth and it generates the image pretty well, right? And to your...
No, don't do that,
I
guys. No. You need us because we are unique and awesome. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, to your point, do creatives like it? It gives them some anxiety, no doubt, but they need to get paid, right? And at the end of the day, if the bosses are saying that, hey, this is a pretty good tool, we're going to be able to create things faster, the incentives are all there. I mean, I don't think the idea that people are anxious because AI might replace their jobs could reduce the adoption of it. I don't think that will be really a prohibitor here.
I mean, that's so interesting, though, because ever since this generative AI mania came about, the whole question is, what's this going to do to jobs? And a lot of the response has always been, it'll always be people working in conjunction with AI.
Yep.
But the thing that makes me think about your Oppenheimer comment that was made on the call, I think that's a very telling comment, because that Academy Award went to the one person, not the one person in Hollywood, a prominent person in Hollywood who champions the old school way of doing things, shooting things just on film. And so that kind of leads me down this path of thinking, yeah, the Adobe software might stick around for a while, but it might just become very niche or something for a very specified sort of area of use, whereas the rest of the world is just going to move on with doing things with a couple of prompts.
Totally. And the big question is, like, will companies reinvest, right? Because these are labor-saving technologies. Will it be that, hey, I'm able to do more with each person so we can expand the scope of what we do? Or are we going to do what we currently do work-wise with less people and just save a bunch of money and employ less? And I think we're deluding ourselves if we don't think that companies are just going to cut labor. At least some of them will.